Temple. So beautiful, like if you look at like all of the different styles. By the way, it's still all of the Egyptian symbols, but they like go for make kind of mixture between the symbols, and instead of using one symbol as an ancient time, but still ancient Egyptian symbol like between papyrus, lotus, and palm trees. But they do kind of mixture. By the way, first of all, the original location is Philae Island. Temple is known as Philae Temple or Philae Temple. But original name of that island back in ancient time, Bilak. Bilak, it means what? The end or the border, because that used to be the border of Egypt back in ancient time to divide it between Egypt and the Nubian land. Okay, that's why that was the border of Egypt. But then, when Ptolemy II, his name is Philadelphus. That's why when he decided to build a temple on the top of ancient Egyptian temple to the goddess Isis, and he built like that beautiful temple. So priestess, they would love to thank him about that. That's why let's call the whole island by your name. Your name is Philadelphus. Let's call the whole island Philae Island. Okay, that's a way to thank him about that. That's why, but anyway, right now we are not in Philae Island. We are in Angelica Island, because Philae Island now it's in the bottom of the Nile River because of the project of the lower dam and the high dam, and that temple has been between the two dams. It takes around 8 years, to move the temple. So what they do, guys, they build a coffer dam around the temple, put sand, as we said, why? To avoid the pressure of the water from outside. Because you imagine, like if you did a coffer dam and then you pump the water out, there is nothing to help for the pressure. That's why the coffer dam will destroy it and destroy the temple. That's why they got an idea, pouring sand that will avoid the pressure. Then they start to pump the water out, okay? Cut the temple into 40,000 pieces and put it on it numbers. They start to choose this island. It's a 500 meters away from Philae Island. They start prepare it with dynamite, because as we said, it used to be like a rocky island. By the way, you're gonna find a lot of cats here. Okay. And don't ask me how they arrived to the island.
On the boat.
That's why, they start cut the temple into 40,000 pieces, put on it numbers, move it like piece by piece, block by block, to the new island here, Angelica Island. By the way, for sure the temple itself, it started, as we said, from inside to outside. That's why all this part gonna see is Ptolemy II. But we have something older. Yes, already for the original island, we used to we get records. Used to have temple made by Thutmose III, the father of Queen. The stepson of Queen Hatshepsut, and the father of Imhotep II. Okay. Also, later on we get some records about the Harka. He used also building, adding some stuff in that temple made by Thutmose III. But okay, like we cannot see that stuff already because, as we said, they keep building temples on top of ancient Egyptian temples. That's why all this thing we can see it here, like this, part of temple was separated temple for goddess Hathor. That's why if you look at the first, columns, the head or the capital of the columns contain the image of goddess Hathor. The woman face with the two cow ears, that made by who? Nectanebo, the last pharaoh of Egypt in the 30th dynasty. Last Egyptian pharaoh. Because as I said, last pharaoh anyway would be Cleopatra, number 7. But here is, that for who? For Nectanebo, the last Egyptian pharaoh, like 350 BC. That's already, but we get some like of the scenes, we got them, decorated. Is not Nectanebo. So his name is there, but the scenes is not Nectanebo. Why? Well, you remember we said with Nectanebo when he was in a power, Alexander the Great came. Then he's disappeared. Whatever happened for him is being killed by Alexander the Great, or maybe just escape. But this is the reason why he again not able to finish his Pylon and Karnak temple. That's why he built the temple, but he didn't put the decorations. Do you know who's that? The decorations, the Roman emperor, and the first one is, that Tiberius Caesar. That's why the scenes, but mostly will be Tiberius Caesar, but not, Nectanebo the second. So the second himself. But anyway, that's originally back to the time of Nectanebo, 350 BC. But they get enough time for in scenes. Okay? That's why you see that side, if you look at this side, it's being decorated. This side is not. Okay? Why? Because as we said already, when he built this part, he never got enough chance to decorate. Okay, that's why it starts have the decoration during, that's why you see a bit the difference of the style of the capital of the columns, which is like being rebuilt again, during the Ptolemaic time and being decorated during the Roman time. Barely some of the colors you could see it, because as we mentioned, that temple used to be colored, but the color is gone because of the water. The water rises up, picks the colors and goes down and goes up. That's why, this is the reason why it's been destroying all of the scenes, and it was almost gonna destroy the temple itself, even especially after building the project of the high dam in Aswan. So why they choose this island to make it like the temple of the goddess Isis? Okay. By the way, they believe. Okay. You remember the story of Set and Osiris? Anybody remember? Set and his brother killed his brother, divide his body into pieces, and Isis she started to try to find out the body. That's why when she found she cannot collect the body after he put each piece in different parts of Egypt, she came like she's searching all over Egypt. She came to the border, which is already Philae Island, which is known as Pilak, which means the end or the border, or And then she was sitting here crying, Then comes the help from her sister. She says like, okay, I'm gonna help you for, collecting the body, and they collect the body. That's why, as we said, they collect the body except one piece, while already they make the mummification and the resurrection of Osiris here. Okay, and she got pregnant from Osiris here. That's why that seems, very important part for, for the ancient Egyptian, especially for the goddess Isis, And this is the reason, as we said, the story very similar. That's why when the Christianity came to Egypt and Christians started to tell them about the story of Virgin Mary and Jesus Christ, they said, okay, how come Virgin Mary she got pregnant by Jesus Christ? They said, okay, spiritual God can do anything. They said, hold on, your story of Virgin Mary, that means my goddess Isis. Your story of Jesus Christ, that's my god Horus. That's why, guys, that temple, it is the last temple the services stop in it. Okay? I mean, like when the Roman, so the for sure Egyptian Sabi Roman during Christian during the Roman time. Roman, at the beginning, they weren't supporting Christianity until they became Christians and Christianity became the main religion for the Roman Empire. They start to give an order to stop any kind of any religion except the Christian one in the whole of the Roman Empire. That's why every temple, the service is in it stopped after that 4th century, but this temple, the services continue in this temple till 6th century AD. Oh, why? Why? Like 528. This is the time of the last, inscription by, a priest here was serving here, high priest, put a last inscriptions to 528 AD. Okay, but why the service stays here? Guys, people, they still worshipping Isis as Virgin Mary herself. And this is the reason why, if you look at the scenes, you find that most of the scenes here are really defaced. Why? You want to feel them, hold on, no, that's a different religion. And Isis, that's not something Virgin Mary so another thing. So that's why they want to stop the ancient, religion and try to improve for the people, No, Virgin Mary, she's not Isis, okay? But worshipping of Isis was flew everywhere, even went to Europe as well. Like keep worshipping Isis as Virgin Mary herself, because they find it same concept. That's why this the reason why this temple, it is the last temple, the service stop in it, and the praying and the offering, because it was very important, for the ancient Egyptian as goddess Isis, so goddess of, magic and goddess of beauty and justice, and even she's the wife of Osiris, the god of the afterlife, paradise, god, a leader of underworld, and she's the mother of Horus, while every pharaoh represented Horus on the earth, the protector of the earth. That's why she's the holder of the throne, as we mentioned. That's why that temple, it was very important one, and even the services still continue in it to worship so Isis as Virgin Mary. So the pylon in front of you, here, which is for sure, smaller than the one in Edfu, because as we said, the Edfu pylon is the second largest after the one in Karnak temple. But you see here, the scenes who? Ptolemy number 12. Ptolemy number 12. While he's doing the same idea, like smashing enemies in front of the ancient, in front of the legend of the temple, here is Isis, and her son Horus and Osiris appear up there. You see the scene when the pharaohs start give offering for, Osiris. Then behind him, Isis, you see the throne over the sun desk, guys. Then you see the pharaohs give offering for Isis behind her son Horus, god of the protection. But as you said, the scenes have been defaced. Why do you want to stop the ancient religion? Want to say, okay, that's a religion and this is a totally different religion. That's why, do you know the defacing, mostly you see face, arms, what, do you know why? Even the people, they got the order to make this defacing, some of them still worry if they got a punishment. That's why if I'm gonna destroy your hands, so you are not able to do anything for me, your legs and feet, so you are not able to walk, your features. So that's why that was the highly thing they do, mostly face, arms, and legs. Some it's totally defaced, but you will see what I'm talking with you about defacing the face, the arms and the legs, because even some people, they got ordered to make that defacing, they still scared and worry if they got a punishment from the god. So that was already an entrance made by Ptolemy II, Philadelphia. Okay. because already that pylon is later. But let's see. During the Roman time, when Christianity became the main religion for the Roman Empire, they used to build a structure here like a little church. Okay, that's why this is the reason, guys. If you look at the scenes here, is not the case. Why? Because it already was covered. So already covered. So why you gonna? So if they said already, why you cannot see it already? That's why this is the reason why this side is being preserved, the scene on it, except the top ones for sure. But here all of them have been defaced because already, as we said, that was a pier, but that wasn't. Just like two, lines here. That's celebration for the birth of, Horus. But this is like idea goes in Roman time, and used to be two obelisks. While is already been taken by who? Giovanni Pilsoni, the Italian.
Did he put graffiti on it as well?
Because Giovanni Pilsoni is an Egyptologist, discovered a lot of things, but one of the things he used to do it every time, take some stuff and sell it, because as we said long time ago, there is no rules for selling antiquities. If you discover something that belongs to you, before Ministry of the Antiquities exist and UNESCO exists, if you discover something, okay, that belongs to you, okay? You can go on a market and sell it. That's why for sure he's Italian, but he has relationship with some rich people from England, France, Italy, US. So it started to sell a lot of stuff, as he did the same thing in Abu Simbel Temple. Hardly in the second pyramid he didn't find anything to discover. That's why, just wrote down his name. Here is the Pharaoh. Guys, you see the cross to your right and left hand side. You see a cross here and you see a cross here. Okay, so the Christian cross. And we're gonna explain about the symbol of the cross. Why they make it in that shape anyway. Guys, also when you are getting there, you start seeing graffiti, But here this graffiti is important for a reason. It's already done by who? By the soldiers of Napoleon Bonaparte. There's the French graffiti. When they come to visit the temple and they see how beautiful the temple is, it pushed them to put graffiti to record we've been here. Okay, that's why that's done by the French. The French during the time of the power. Why here Hadrian here is Isis, because there is two goddess for the original island for sure, but we're gonna speak about here. But you understand, we talk about Philae Island, which is already underwater, but now we are on Angelica. Guys, first of all, like we have sometimes, it's a place, it has a god of the place itself, but then you get a temple existed for another goddess. As you remember, I told you Dandara is the center of goddess Hathor, and her temple is there. But do you know the location of the temple is already who was the owner of the Isis? That's why you get a little temple there for Isis. Okay, who's the owner of Philae Island? Hathor. But the temple belongs to who? Isis. Okay?
It's a swap. It's a swap.
Yeah, it's swap. That's why, let's see. The great temple here, who? Isis. But there is a little temple outside, Hathor. Later on, during the time of Augustus Caesar, we're gonna see another temple for Hathor. Okay, but small ones, kind of respect. Okay, now you are like the owner of the temple, the huge one, but I'm the owner of the place, so I still has to find a temple, make service for me as well. That's why, it's like a swap here, like if Philae Island, like the goddess of the island itself, Hathor. But the goddess of the temple, Isis. Over there, the opposite. So the owner of the place, Isis, but the great temple, Hathor. You know, that's in Dandara to the north of Furs. That's why he was asking, okay, is that here? Is that here Hathor or Isis? He said Hathor. He said, okay, but there Isis, yes, I can see the throne over the head. But, you know, because already, as we said, we have both of them here. But the great temple here, who? Isis. His wife, so her husband, Osiris, them son, Horus. That's why you see here, you know. By the way, guys, here, who? Ptolemy number 8. Okay? You remember Ptolemy number 8, he married to who? Cleopatra 2, 3. Okay? While is already they come with him on the scenes here. Okay? So, by the way, you see here, Ptolemy, he started to give an office for who? Horus, god of the protection, wearing the double crowns. Behind him, his wife, Hathor. She's, as we said, the goddess of the island itself. Then here, over there, the pharaoh started to, give an offering for the god Osiris, and behind him, his wife Isis. While already she's the owner of the temple, but she loves her husband so much. As we said, even when he gave up, she never gave up on him. That's why she respect to put him at the front. Okay. Also over there, here you see the column that contains the image of goddess Hathor. You know. By the way, that's called what? Mamizi, the house of the divine birth. Why we said like you have to find that due in the temples back to the Greek Roman time or the Ptolemy time and the Roman time, because they are not Egyptian. Pharaoh is the son of the god anyway. He could to make the house of the divine birth if he's not a full kingdom god. But mostly he don't have to do it, because already like Ramses II, why he's gonna do like a house of divine birth? He don't need to do it. Okay? Tutmosis, Imhotep II, why he's gonna do a house of divine birth? He's already the son of the royal pharaoh. I mean, his son of the god. He's already, a pharaoh, so he don't have to do a house of divine birth to show off the divine birth from the god. But anyway, the Greek Ptolemies, they are not Egyptian. That's why they find out they have that became during the Ptolemy and Roman time became a part of the temple. You have to find it. Why? This is the way to show off his divine birth from the god. That's why that tells he's okay, he's the pharaoh right now. That's why this is the house of the divine birth, which is they made it seem like a temple inside a temple. I mean, it started by facade and then open courtyard and then little shrine, the hypostasis, so the most important part of the temple, like the Holy of Holies, where they have celebrated the house of divine birth. While already, you start to see, here, the goddess Hathor, she's holding them off, drums. If you count them, would be 7 days. 7 days. We celebrate the born of the baby in ancient times for 7 days. Still a part of that tradition still exists even today. Yes. After we get a baby, after 7 days, get the dove, and we start like. That's why to start to get the attention of the baby, we call it Sabua, which means like a week. That's why we do it after 1 week, but we do it for one time. But back in each time we do it 7 days. That's why this tradition still exists even today, called Sabua, try to get the attention of the baby. Okay? Also, you see the same idea is like how they start to make the purification of the pharaoh, like the high priest burning the incense. You've seen that in the temple. Then the god Horus and Thoth, they start like prepare him and wash his body by the holy water. Then the two goddesses of upper and lower here, Wajib, lower Egypt, and over there is Upper Egypt, they placed the double crowns of Upper and Lower. Then, they start to lead them to present them to the gods. While it's inside, you will see also a part of the celebration by music, and you see the Pharaoh is still putting his finger in the mouth. He's still sucking his finger, and he's still a baby while he said that celebration. This for about, offering of the temple. During the time why you already, the priestess, we want to thank them about how much stuff they give it, how much they give it. Temple, because that's a very important temple, as we said, so Isis, that's why that was originally like a part, but when Ptolemy, that's already the Ptolemy number 5. That's why now it's just around, but when Ptolemy number 8, he decided to build the Pylon. He found that rock, it's one solid piece of rock, around 30 tons. 30 tons, one solid piece. That's why he gotta respect, he's not gonna move it. He made the pylon on the top of it. That's why, remember, they cut the temple into pieces. We could move it piece by piece, block by block. Except this is the only piece, they move it as it is, as one solid piece, to respect it. That's why it's still one solid piece. Guys, we said the numbers, some numbers, guys. You see? Number what? 28. See the number? 28. So as we said, like some of those numbers, like you could see one of the numbers, 28. That's why, as we mentioned, we cut it into pieces, number it, and you still can see some of those numbers that exist. Guys, if you come here, another number down here, guys, 21. So, excuse me, please come over here. Okay, they say, hold on, stop ancient religion. But people still coming here worship Isis as Virgin Mary. That's why defacing. Some people still coming praying for Virgin Mary as goddess Isis herself. That's why, okay, to stop that, let's change the temple and make a church inside the temple. Because we made it outside, it doesn't have that much. No, let's make it inside. That's why, guys, right now we are in front of an actual church inside, the temple, okay? That's why I see the niche, you see the altar. By the way, you see the oldest design of the Egyptian cross. So, cross was used like an idea of like mostly the grape leaves. Why do you use that style? Guys, if you look nicely, each side contains of 3 corners. If you count 1, 2, 3, so symbol of the Trinity, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. If you count all of the corners, it's gonna be 3 by 4 equal 12. The numbers of the disciples of Jesus Christ. Even if you look at each side of the cross, make a cross itself. That's why it's gonna be more than cross in just one. That's why, this is the oldest design of the Egyptian cross, which is now signed for Coptic Orthodox Christians. But let's imagine that I'm coming here to pray. So closing my eyes, then I open Isis, so Osiris, and Gachu. Yes. You remember March has a feather over the head. Also, there's another god has a feather over the head. Shu, the god of the temperature and air. Where? Right here. And behind him, this is Sekhmet, the goddess of war. But here, this is not Ma'at. This god, his name is Shu.
How do you tell
Okay.
them apart? Shoot.
From the name anyway for me, but for
Okay.
you, he's a man and she's a woman.
Okay.
And mostly she has a wings. Okay, but let's see. That's why for sure I think a bit hard. Like when you open your eyes, see, Osiris and Isis. That's why let's see what they do. Defacing, like removing all of the scenes from the right and the left here. Remove the scenes from here down there, down there. That's why if I'm like I pray, I'm open my eyes right in front of me. There is no anyone of the scenes, and this is the reason why they remove those scenes just for the way when they do this. By the way, you see also the dross, couldn't get to the review. Now we got the okay. So here, guys, as we said, over here would be, Ptolemy II, Philadelphus, while they already called the whole island by his name, Philae Island, to thank him about creating that beautiful temple for the goddess Isis, Why you see here to the right and left of the entrance, turn here was the lower crown, and here was the upper crown, and the goddess, you see the relationship, because that's very important for the Ptolemies, the Greek, because as we said, they are non-Egyptian, that's why they have to show that relationship between them and between the gods to improve. They are actually, the son of the god, and you see she's already the goddess, past him the Ankh, means she's given him the life, symbol of long life and eternity. That's to the right would be lower crown, here was upper crown. Here the pharaoh start, or Ptolemy for sure, the second, Philadelphus, when he start to praying and give offering and he gets, like this, the title of, the goddess Isis, you see the throne, and already, praying for Osiris, god of the afterlife, paradise, leader, of the underworld. Behind him, Isis, behind her, the goddess, Hathor, she's, as we said, Hathor, the goddess of the whole, island, but, Isis, she's the goddess of, the temple itself. Here you see Horus, behind him, Hathor, behind them, the sister of Isis, Nephthys. Okay, so this goddess Nephthys, the one she's helping Isis to collect the body of Osiris. By the way, she was the wife of who? Set. Yeah, she was the wife of Set, but she's already loves Osiris more than Set, and this one of the things he was jealous. Set was jealous about it. You get the most beautiful one, Isis. Even my wife, she still loves you as well, because Osiris was a good guy. Set was, very snaky and not good. That's why already Nephthys she loves. That's why, they have a baby? Yes, Anubis, god of mummification, is already the son of Nephthys and Osiris. That's why already, she's worried from her sister Isis. That's why she threw the baby. That's why Anubis, god of mummification, as he gets old, he understood that I'm also the son of Osiris. I used to have the throne as well, and the crowns as Horus, because I'm like a brother of, half brother of Horus. That's why, he was already fighting all of the gods, and he won. That's why in one of the temples, they gave up and they let him wear the both crowns of Upper and Lower Egypt.
Tareq, is this where they cut the shoulder?
Yes, all of this is the cut. That's why sometimes you see the cut, it comes through the hieroglyphics itself. Because as we said, they cut it into pieces. That's why let's say, like from here, that's one piece they cut. Okay, that's another piece. Here, that's why as it said, they cut it into pieces, and move it. That's why it's from here, go to here. That's one piece, they cut it. That's why they cut the temple into pieces, move it piece by piece throughout the Graffiti and Relocation. Over here, guys, this is the holy of the holies. Who's allowed to get in? Supposed to be the Pharaoh himself, but for sure, how many temples all over? So many. Pharaoh cannot do the service in all of those temples in one time. That's why they allowed the high priest to do the rituals instead of the Pharaoh himself. How you could be a high priest? You have to know everything. So you have to study architect, medicine, astronomy, every single thing you have to be known about it. That's why when it's already a priest and he knows everything, that's hire you to be a high priest of the goddesses. That's why he's the only one can step inside Por eso, aquí cortaron esta análisis abajo. By the way, here where you see the symbol of but still gets some other images of some other gods. For sure, the main one would be her husband Osiris, who's as we said here, where they're celebrating the resurrection of Osiris. Priestess every year used to come here, celebrating the same thing or creating the same story. Fighting between the two brothers and how it's like doing this and doing the resurrection of Osiris. That's why he used to do this, every year, the resurrection of Osiris. That's why I see Osiris, he gave up, but his wife not. That's why I see how she's protecting her husband. You see Osiris here, and Isis, she's got her wings to protect her husband Osiris. You see also, as we said, about Osiris, so Isis, when she's feeding the baby suckling milk from the mom over here, because that's represented already, the Pharaoh himself, because every Pharaoh said, he's the son of the goddess, that's why he's also suckling milk. This represented the baby Horus, when he's suckling milk. You still see here, even, he's still suckling milk while it still gets older. And wearing the double crowns of upper and lower. He's the Pharaoh himself, but, still, like, the goddess feed him, so his mother to improve. I'm the son of Isis, For sure, like, as we said, like, high priest used to come here, wash the statue by essential oils. That's why this is the reason why you could see the markings of the oils. It's like essential oils with perfumes and nice, clean it up, then put it inside the shrine, then put the shrine over the holy part, then the priests start to move to the different parts of the temple to start to move the shrine. The sign here used to be a little temple for the god Horus as well, because the owner of the whole island, his wife, Isis, Hathor. That's why I used to get a little, temple, but small one.
Sale espontáneo. Pero dejar las cosas, si alguien viene escapando y toma las cosas, ¿qué puedo hacer yo? Tengo yo detrás. ¿Qué cuido? ¿La foto o los ladros?
So those entrance there, that's made by the Roman Emperor Hadrian. Yes, the one down there.
Hadrian. Oh wow. Hadrian.
The same as Hadrian's Wall.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Not nice.
He traveled around. He got places. England, Egypt.
He built a lot.
Yeah. So that's Hadrian.
He met Shan as well, didn't he, in Israel?
Yeah.
you have? Okay, I've only heard of it.
Changed the name of Israel too. Didn't he?
Guys, do you know there is a famous game now, and it's a bit like people, so a lot of people they love it. I don't know if someone here they do or not. You know the game baseball?
Baseball?
Baseball, yeah. Do you know? You know it? Do you know I've been with a guy. He's playing. Then he said I told him do you know that an ancient game? He said, oh no, I don't believe this. I said, okay, come here, look at that, and let's see what is the pharaoh doing. The stick, you see guys, the stick.
Es que era estacional.
Who's the pitcher? The god is the pitcher.
That's the pharaoh, right?
No, the pharaoh himself.
Oh, the pitcher. Oh, I see. Who's throwing the ball to him?
Yeah, no, he's like one of the scenes of because already the pharaohs they used to go hunting, playing, and doing. Even they do this service in front of the gods as well. Same thing, they have done it. That's why I think if the pharaoh dropped the ball, I think a lot of people will go. Taking photos, go down the steps and walk through the steps.
قال كان هيوصل منيهم لو في حال.
So that game, you're serious that it's a game that's
Yes.
representing there? Do they know how it's different or how it was played?
No, we didn't get the rules of it.
Oh, okay. They didn't write down the rules?
We have the evidences. One of the ancient games. Do you know even wrestling, they call it the Roman wrestling, which is already, we discovered a tomb in a city called Elmenia, place called Bani Hassan. There is a tomb there, exists 250 different movement of wrestling.
Oh,
Over than 250.
not only did they wrestle, but they
Yes.
thought it was important enough to make all those
You know,
scenes.
yeah. That's why, that was originally for one of the, governors of that part, back in the Middle Kingdom, and imagine that's Middle Kingdom, that's like 1650 BC, and wrestling, and they call it Roman wrestling, which is Roman, that exists also in ancient times as well, and you get records for it that one tomb exists to more than 250 different movements of wrestling in ancient times. By the way, right now we are in a temple of the small temple of goddess Hathor that's made by Augustus Caesar. Okay.
Oh, wow.
By the way, while here you see the images of goddess Hathor, here, the woman with the cow ears. Okay, but in the same time you get to see an image of a god here. Look at the funny monkey, like a monkey, but with a nice beard, and here as well when he's playing a dove, here he's playing music. Here indicate an image of baboon. That's God. His name is Bes, B-E-S. Bes. God has saved the people from the scorpions and snakes, protector of the pregnant woman, protector of the young babies, but the main kind of his job, God of fun of every kind. So I don't have to explain more than this. So every kind you think about it for he's the God of that. Okay, so
Cow's ears, yes. Yeah.
So a nice view here. If you want to take a quick photo, then please go to visit last thing I'm gonna explain here, which is the Kiosk of
Tareq.
life.
Okay. And for the was itself, you explained that each part of the Ankh have kind of meaning. Does the was the same?
It's a symbol of power because this is the image of Sit.
Okay.
You know. There's also, guys, one of the numbers, 126.
Why is it an image of Set?
Because as we said, Set is, you imagine I'm a god, and at the same time, I do have the power to do anything, even bad stuff, even sneaky ways. I think this is the most powerful thing you could talk about it. Even as we said during the journey of the underworld, that he's the only one can beat the evils. Is because they escape from him. That's why that makes sense. That's for the holy part. As we mentioned, we used to have like a rest place for the holy part. Instead of resting in the sun, they rest in the shade. Guys, come over here. That would be the Fear's Bed. Famous by Fear's Bed, which is like the most beautiful structures. The capital columns are amazing. Used to have ceiling, by the way, guys. Used to have ceiling, but the ceiling didn't exist anymore. It's filled up, but used to have a beautiful ceiling. Made by Roman Emperor Trajan. It's amazing, like Trajan. And imagine like for the columns, it's an order. It's like straight lines. It's amazing, and it's famous by the Fear's Bed. The Fear's Bed. I mean, it's like, as we said, used to have a roof as well. But, that's the last thing. So I think you could enjoy yourself, take a photos. Any questions first about the temple here? Any questions?
So would that ceiling have been stone or wood?
Yes, it's stone.
Okay, we haven't seen anything from it go up. It is a cap and a set, is it?
Okay, it's already, like mostly it didn't exist so much, but you will see it. Mostly they have the mummified cats.
Yeah.
So at the Egyptian Museum there is some mummified cats, but there is the center of worshipping goddess. Bastet, the cat is in a Nile Delta. Still known right now by Tel Bastet, which is already come from the old name Ber Bastet, which means the house of Bastet. That's in the Nile Delta city called Sharpeya. This got a big temple for Bastet, and it got cemetery to bury the mummified cats. Good. She's gonna be the cat. She's gonna be just cats. But she could turn in a minute to
Cats can turn in a minute as well.
Yes.
Yes. It's not very far away.
That's why it seems like it's two sides of one goddess, but
Just like
between
a
the
cat.
female line and the cat.
Yep.